What is up, guys, gals, and non-binary pals? My name is Naomi. Welcome to House of Miscellania. It is Tuesday night. Hope y'all are doing well. I had to give myself a little woosah minute. I will go over that in my weapon chat tonight. A very fun and frustrating story for you. So you can check that out tomorrow. I won't go into it tonight because I'm going to try and bring a little peace and tranquility into my life right now and bring my blood pressure back down to normal. I want to say hey to those already in the chat. Hello to Abby. Hello, Shannon. Hello, Melissa. Hi, Calf. I'll go over my tools also really quickly. I'm using the usuals for now. I've got a pen here from Diamond Pen Pal. This is the Satura pen. It actually looks darker right now for some reason. I don't know why. I've got my light. Let me see. Let me see if I move my light over a little. Will that help? Yeah, it helped a little bit. I've got my Satura pen. And in my single placer, I'm using Ghost from Diamond Painting Daily. And then I have in my multi-placer purple prismatic sparkle dot dot putty from Butterfly Effectwares. And I'm using a tray from Firefly. This is the Switch Mini Max. It has a removable lid, which I remove, a removable trash tray, which I remove, and then an open and closed pour spout, along with a little hole in the top. You can stick your pen in and it won't roll away. Fancy. I am working on, hold on a second. I'm so excited to be back on this piece. This is, let's get a picture for you. Sometimes by color out of place. I've needed to get this back in my life for a while now. I was working on the Bella Art Diamonds piece, which I've done. It is finished. If you go and look in the Discord, there is a picture. I'm very excited that it is done with because it's lovely. And I had my struggles with it. I'll go over that in the post review. But hello, Noelle. Hello, Tigger. Candy K Love. One. Hello, Candy K Love. I don't know who you are. I don't recognize the name. So tell me what your name is so I can try to remember it. Hello, Glory, kitty cat. Hello, Josh. Weird, you didn't pop up on YouTube. Had to use the Discord link. Oh, that is weird. Don't leave the likes sad, Melissa says. Push it real good. Push it real good? Had to go through Discord also. Weird. Oh, Abby changed her screen name. It was getting annoying. Oh, by the way, Capricia. Nice to meet you, Capricia. By the way, I did a Google search on why it was showing you guys as your at screen names. And apparently it is because YouTube is doing a changeover wherein they're going to use that name instead of like your title or whatever, your channel name, because those can be duplicated, whereas your at screen name cannot be duplicated. So you're going to start to see that on more lives than just mine. It's going to be all the time. Okay, so what might have happened with that, Josh? I thought I had scheduled the stream like an hour ago. I only just scheduled it like a minute ago. So that was probably my fault. It's probably rolling out notifications now, but you're already here, so welcome. But yeah, so you're gonna see that's happening in more lives than just mine. I guess I just got the update sooner because yeah, I was confused myself. Now, I did break my own rule, but that's only because I haven't worked on this canvas in a while. I flipped it. So normally I would be going from this direction to this direction and it would be flipped around the other way and the finished part would end up in my lap. But this one's a big one. So I decided because I haven't worked on it in a while, I'm okay to flip it because then I won't have to worry about like what direction I remember the symbols being in because I don't remember what direction the symbols were in before. Let me get my drills here. We got all the drills, 96 colors this one is. And I have them in color order. So isn't it a beautiful rainbow? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It's gorgeous. We love it. And it fits perfectly in 2 drawers, so we love it. Anyways, how's everybody doing tonight? It's Tuesday. It's still kind of the start of the week. So hopefully nothing too exciting has happened for people. Nothing too exciting has happened for me, at least yet, except for what happened just a little bit ago. But again, I'll go over that in my whip and chat because I need to just not even, I need to not. I told my family what happened like right before I got back and then started the live immediately after. But I was like, yeah, my blood pressure's up. They're like, yeah, we can tell. Hello, Digital Divine Whippin'. Hello, Vicky. Well, Capricia, are you new to the channel? If so, welcome. I'd like to think we're some fun people around here. Is this your first time to a live? Because like I said, I didn't recognize the name. Oh, just dropped my tweezers are gone. Oh no. Where'd they go? Here they are. Found them. Waiting on Mr. Container to get back from Nevada, just diamond painting along. Sweet. He's done with the Manister for the long weekend. There we go. Yeah, I'll tell you what, if my blood pressure was up, Beans's blood pressure was up too. It was fun. New to the channel and came back on a live. Oh, okay. Well, welcome. Always good to see a new-ish face. Even though I can't see your face. But you can't see mine either, to be fair. So turnabout is fair play, as they say. But yeah, he was laying on the floor and just complaining like dogs do. And I realized it was probably my fault because I was very worked up at the moment. Like gets worked up when I get worked up. So trying to cool my jets. These old faces are getting tired. Oh no, not the old faces. She said your face is tired. You hear that, Dustin? Your face is tired. Your face is tired. Got that tired face. So, yeah, anyways, for a Tuesday night, things are not bad. Not bad at all. I went and got a mini fridge from my in-laws because I think they were like if I wasn't gonna go pick it up, I think they were ready to throw it away. I don't even know why it came up out of their basement all of a sudden. I think they were just like somebody asked about it and then they decided, you know what, let's get this mini fridge out of the basement. So when I do finally move upstairs for craft spacing, I'll have a little mini fridge up there. I'm a little excited about it. I think Dustin's maybe worried though that means I'll never see him again. Hide in the room. Won't ever need to come out. That's part of the issue, I think, with like talking about moving the craft space upstairs or whatever. I like I like being downstairs. I'm always around people. I can kind of hear what's going on. They can talk to me whenever they want to. I worry that if I move my craft space upstairs, that like, I'll just be upstairs hiding out from my family. You know how it is. Can't be nice all the time. Oh no. Shots fired. All the shots are fired. That's okay, Melissa. We know you're Canadian, but I don't think we all expect you to be nice all the time. I think you get a pass every now and again that you can be just rude AF to anybody you want. I think that's in the Canadian clause somewhere. My husband got me a mini fridge. He'd never see me either. Yes, Josh. Tell him if you'd like to keep me happy, quiet, and in somebody else's business all the time, just give me a mini fridge. I'll just disappear. It'd be great. Why not? Woman cave for the win. Yes. Well, as tempting as Glory's husband's whole business with the Manister out in the middle of the Nevada desert sounds, because that does sound pretty tempting. I think if Dustin had something like that, I'd never see him again. He'd just live out in his little Manister in the desert. Because that is some Dustin level crap right there. Would you do that, Dustin? Oh God, yeah, he says. He just disappear into the desert, never to be heard from again. It's like literally a storage container thing that he's converted into like the equivalent of a tent, but not a tent, obviously, because it's a metal container. And he's got his little man cave set up in the middle of the Nevada desert in this little like gold rush ghost town. Oh, the North Woods? Yeah. Okay. So he would have, instead of going to the Nevada desert, he said the North Woods of Wisconsin would fit that bill also. Maybe they could listen. They could have a little Manister village and get walkie-talkies. Yeah. There we go. I have a new idea where we can all store our husbands. Our husbands. We can store our husbands in Manisters out in the woods somewhere. That sounds great. That's way easier than my plan to club your knees and keep you in a bed somewhere. No, of course, I would never club his knees and keep him in a bed somewhere. I've never thought of it and I've never threatened him with that. What are you talking about? And then I had the I had the bright idea to tell his coworkers about my plan to club his knees and keep him in a bed somewhere. And I was like, oh wait, damn. Well, if he doesn't show up at work, it's definitely not my fault. It definitely wasn't me. I'm like, dang it. Messed myself up there. Oh goodness. Manister has no power or water. He friggin' loves it. Yeah, I think Dustin would like that too. And I think what's nice about the Nevada desert is like you don't have to worry about getting cold. Whereas in the North Woods of Wisconsin, well, sure, cold at night, but I don't know how cold it gets where he's at in Nevada. Well, I know they have really dramatic temps. It's the desert, but like I don't know. I'd have to ask Lori. She could tell me how cold it gets for him in the Nevada desert at nighttime. If Kathy Bates taught us anything, it's to club men's ankles, not their legs. Yes. That was like literally my plan. Kathy Bates misery style, just like, put the block in between and just club his ankles. Yes. That. Well, I don't want him to be able to run away, right? I mean, I suppose kneecaps would probably make it difficult to run away, but just when he gets to talking back, that's all. Everybody's like, Dustin, blink twice if you need help. uh, hello, little one 710. That's Bridget, I think. Glory, is your husband the mayor of Manister Town? Well, they had like she mentioned that they had like a town like pride day parade, not like that kind of pride parade situation, but like, the town turned 200 or something and they did a little celebration for it, which sounds like fascinating. I'm going to be honest with you. It's almost 6,000 feet up. It's a Sierra desert. It's getting cold at night, but has been mild out here in the west. Oh, nice. Were you gonna say something, Dustin? No? No? Okay. It sounded like you were gearing up to give me some sort of C. Oh, what are you playing? Civ 7? Okay. Dustin's playing some Civ 7. He's been going between Civ 7 and what, Nino Kuni lately. Uh he was playing some Animal Crossing for a little bit, but I think we're both kind of gearing up and getting excited about the Animal Crossing update that's coming out on the 15th of January. I mean, if they weren't going to give us a new Animal Crossing to go with the Switch 2, I'll take an update, like a full version 3 update on the Animal Crossing game instead to tide me over. But I do kind of hold it against them that they told me when I got update 2 that that was going to be the final update for Animal Crossing, and they lied about it. So I am a little bit salty about that, not gonna lie, but it's okay. It's the country, or it's the county seat, actually. Goldfield is the town. Lots of history, major haunted area. That I believe. That I definitely believe. I'm sure they got the ghosts of gold miners passed all over the place out there. But okay, everybody, sound off. Tell me what you're working on. What canvas are you working on? Like I said, I just finished my Bella Art Diamonds piece, and I'll do a post review on that. Pictures in the Discord if anybody would like to see how it turned out. Um, I'm very happy with how it turned out, but I'm also very happy to be done with it. Um, not because I dislike it or anything. It was challenging for a lot of reasons. And so, yes, I'm relieved to be working on something else now for a while until Mary Morales. Sunflower Farm. Tigger's working on Sunflower Farm. Have any more ABs I need to lay? I don't think I do. Not on this piece. No. Nope. Hello, good evening, Allison. How's life? How's things? Let's go with this color. Done with Allison Roses until the event. So I'm back on the boudoir. Oh, your Jaded Gem Shop. Vicky, are you planning on kitting something else up in between? Like something other than the boudoir? Your Jaded Gem Shop? Just finished Dak Bold Flowers, getting ready to start Rabid by Rokari. Ooh, I like Rokari. That Rokari does a lot of like alternative dark art style stuff. Very exciting. I know the news is getting around anyways, but don't know if anyone saw. Um, sadly, that Yellow Dog Designs is calling it quits. You can go and check out their Facebook page for like details on why they've decided to call it quits with their shop. But they did make mention that Ditsy's Diamond Den is now in possession of their files for their trays. So if you do still want to get the equivalent of a Yellow Dog design tray, you can from Ditsy's Diamond Den. Yeah, you saw that. Had surgery today. Oh my goodness. Well, bravo to you for being, I don't know, upright and awake. I don't think I would be. Are you still in the hospital, Allison, or are you back home? And happy healing to you. My goodness. Ooh, mystery kit. You're on the last row of the mystery kit you've been working on. Now that mystery kit was one from was that one that was like from Timu or like Make Market? Because I know you said you haven't worked on a DAC yet, and I know but those are only squares, and you haven't done a square yet. Nope, won't be done with boudoir. And if I do switch, I'll work on next to you. Oh, right, for the color blocking. Right, right. I knew that. I just forgot that I knew that. I'm working on a canvas that was a gift from a friend who knows nothing about diamond painting. Oh, so it's probably a Timu type thing. It's a bunch of flowers with the word love. Very 70s. Ooh, very 70s. Azalea. Shannon's working on azalea. Plant delivery for Miss Abby with a donkey. Actually, Vicky, you said I would have to come down to go to the bathroom. There's an upstairs bathroom and it has a bathtub, whereas the downstairs bathroom does not have a bathtub. They can barely get me out of the bathtub. So, getting me out of a room, I can spend 3 hours in a bathtub. I just keep refreshing the water so it's warm. I'll sit in there and play the Switch. I'll sit in there, read a book. I'll sit in there, watch a TV show. I could live in the bathtub if it didn't dry my skin out. That's where I would exist, in the bath. I love a bathtub. This is a make market. Oh, a make market mystery. I didn't even know that they did mysteries. That's kind of cool. I had no idea that was even a thing. I'm home and was awake. Oh, gave me medicine. Oh, like the twilight sleep, or just a local anesthetic. That sounds awful, being awake for it. I remember when I was like 7 years. Okay, I'm gonna be a little graphic and just a little bit gross. Just a little bit gross. And a little bit graphic. I'm not gonna be like gore graphic, but I remember when I was like 7 or 8 years old, I had gotten a wart on my hand, and the doctor decided to just do like a local anesthetic in my hand, and then to do like cauterization or whatever on the wart, because it was beyond a point where they could just go zip, whatever. Well, so they ended up um they did the local anesthetic on the spot for the wart, and then like burned it away. Like first they like scalpel it, whatever, and then they burn it away. Well, I remember saying something to the doctor when I was like 7 or 8, like, I smell really good. And I didn't mean like I smelled really good because I had showered. I meant like my skin burning must have smelled like food. I don't know. Gross, huh? I would like to find the butterfly one of Morales for me to do. If I can find it, I might do it then. Oh, you talking about sleeps with butterflies, Shannon? I feel like I've seen a couple of those on D Stash. Sleeps with butterflies. She's a beautiful finish, I can tell you that much. I really enjoyed working on that one. Just a local needle in your arm. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I just remember saying, "I smell really good." And I don't know if the doctor knew what I was talking about, like, because he didn't remark on it. Like, he didn't say, "Oh, I get that a lot," or "What?" He just kind of moved right along. I guess he did have more important things to worry about, like, not starting me on fire. Hi, Marianne. One friend who got LASIK said it smelled like hamburger. I mean, but really, it kind of does, to be honest with you. Or like bacon. I don't know. Hand skin might smell different than eyeballs, because LASIK is eyeballs, right? Ugh. I just got I don't know, a ghost taste. All right, moving on. Gross subject. Don't talk about gross subjects anymore. I gotta tell you though, I'm one of those people that I'm really hard to gross out. Just generally, I'm not grossed out by a lot of things. What I am grossed out by is like I can't do any sort of like real, now in the moment. if I'm somewhere and an emergency happens and somebody was to like break a bone or get a really bad gash on their head or something like that, like I keep my cool, I'm fine. But when it comes to like seeing people hurt themselves on TV, like not jackass, but like um that like past jackass level where people hurt themselves or break bones or whatever, I cannot handle that. That goes beyond what my comprehension can handle. In real life, totally fine, but seeing it on TV or whatever, I don't know what it is. I get like sympathy, ouch, and I just can't handle it. Not for me. Eye stuff will gross me out every time. Yeah. Tasty eyeballs. Why does that gross me out a bit? Because it should, Abby. Because it should. Because you're normal. That's why. But yeah, I'm not like I don't get oogied out by bugs. I don't get oogied out by, like okay, this is gonna sound weird and probably gross. And some of you will go, ooh, yeah, or some of you are gonna go, that's disgusting. But like Dr. Pimple Popper or whatever, that stuff fascinates me. Totally fascinated by that. Some people, no, that's a no-go for them. And understandably, it's not for everybody. Like medical stuff, some people can't do medical stuff. Totally fine. That just means you're normal. Nothing wrong with you at all. What did I walk into? Sujin. Sorry, Sujin. We're talking about just gross stuff. Not actual gross stuff, but just examples of gross stuff. Oh my gosh. But like, yeah, like I don't know. Biologicals don't bother me. I've worked in the medical field. Animal stuff doesn't bother me. I've worked with animals. I just yeah, not much really grosses me out. You're with me on Dr. Pimple Popper? Yeah. Oh, there was one my in-laws were telling me about. Um, it's a British show and it's about people who have like really strange medical stuff, but they actually show like full on nude people on it because in like the UK, if it's medical, like you can show nudity on their TV stations because it's medical. But I don't remember the name of the show. I'd have to ask my mother-in-law because my mother-in-law was a nurse, a registered nurse. So she's another person that like medical stuff doesn't bother her at all either. I don't even remember how or why I got on this topic, but I apologize in advance. See, okay, okay, I'm not crazy. There's some people, you nasties. Vicky says no pimples, gag. Trying to wax his hair off? What? Why even? Anyway, all right, moving on. So, I think not I think. I know that I'm going to be working on Onahime for Mary Morales. I've already decided on that, right? That's kind of in the books. It's a done deal. They came out with Luncheon, which is the green one that just came out last weekend. And I tell you, I have been waiting on that canvas for so freaking long. It was almost one that I was going to do as a cross stitch conversion. So relieved I don't have to do that. Um, and so I think that that's going to be the winner for canvas number 2 for Mary Morales. Nipple popping grosses me out, but open heart surgery is fine. Oh, okay. You're one of those weirdos. Cool. Surgery also doesn't bother me. Not even a little bit. Like I said, I don't know what it is. It's like people hurting themselves on video. because I think part of that is because I've been, I don't want to say tortured with it, but there have been some times where like going over to Dustin's parents' house back when you could watch UFC on like pay-per-view or whatever. Luntien. Yeah, it means green, right? And then there's Cahel, which is like a citrus fruit. And then Azul, which is blue, which is like the triptych or whatever of that, the three in the set. Um, but yeah, we used to go over to Dustin's parents' house and we would watch UFC on pay-per-view or whatever. And it was the fight between Silva and who was Silva fighting, Dustin? Well, regardless, um during the fight, he went to do a kick maneuver at the guy and on live pay-per-view broke his leg. And so I'm covering my eyes because I can't handle that sort of thing like on TV. And Dustin's dad is going back and forth and slow motion and I'm like, I can't watch it. I'm like, please stop. Please. Can we just turn it back on? But honestly, the hosts even of the UFC, like they just kept going on and on and on about it. It was pretty major. It ended Silva's career for at least a good long time. Message retracted. Ooh, did you say something dirty? Now, Melissa, is it, I know it's, is it, do you say it the whole three syllables, like Luntien? Or do you say, you know what I'm saying? Or is it Luntien? Lun, or when we go into chat, will you please say the word for me so that when I unbox it, I say it correctly? Please. Um, but yeah, it was kind of a big deal during the actual pay-per-view. So they just kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I'm like, I need to step out. At the time, I smoked cigarettes and I needed to step out and have 3 or 4 cigarettes because I was like, I can't be in here while you guys are watching this on repeat for an hour. Because that's all anybody wanted to talk about. But they had to end the fight, obviously. Luntien. Yeah, there's like T. Okay. Luntien. All right. Well, correct me in chat. I want to hear you say it. Because I mean I could go on Google and I could have Google pronounce it for me, but I'd prefer to actually hear it from somebody who speaks the language so that I don't sound stupid. I learned the word humador, which means the word that I don't like in Spanish or like humid. Yeah, I got it. Luntien. Listened to a pronunciation on Tagalog.com. Fair. Luntien. All right. Well, she's beautiful. And I've been waiting a really long time for that one. And like I said, I'm just kind of glad she didn't end up as a cross stitch conversion because let me tell you how fast I would abandon that cross stitch conversion for the DAC version. It'd never get done. It would be sitting there for the rest of its life. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's see. Next color. This canvas, let me tell you, if you ever need like a color pick me up, sometimes by color out of place, it's yes, it's chef's kiss, man. It's like all of this. Ah, I stabbed my freaking murder tweezers into my tray. Linda, hello, hello. Welcome. Dang it. I'm trying to grab a, there we go. Try to grab a trash drill. Yeah, if you ever need a color, like pick me up, a color boost, this is the one. It's so good. I mean, it's 96 colors, so yeah, it can be a little scary, but I've been kind of keeping track on the squares, like not all of them, but when something seems to be a little bit crazy as far as the confetti goes, I want to see how many different color changes I have. And the most color changes I've had on this kit with 96 colors is 41. And that's actually not that bad. I mean, yeah, it's a lot, but out of 96 colors, that's not even half. Manageable, totally manageable. I thought 96 colors, that you're going to use all 96 colors on every square, and that's just not the way it is. Please, no tweezer accidents. I'll try not to. Yeah, Linda, you going to join us for Mary Morales? You should. It's going to be lots of fun. Can I tell you, I have come literally this close to dropping the tweezers on the floor and almost dropping them into the top of my foot, but they end up like straight up and down in my hardwood floor and the carpet. So many times. Yay, Linda's gonna join us. It was Capricia, right? Is she still here? Go back. I want to make sure I said your name correctly. Reading through the messages. Or did she leave? Like, bye, y'all are weird. We get out of here. I'm pretty sure her name was Capricia, right? Did not let me go back that far? What the heck? Capricia, yeah. Aha, I was right. It is Capricia. Hello, Peggy. So, reminder to everybody, if you are going to participate in Mary Morales, make sure, and you want prizes, make sure that you do your entry form. If you're looking for the entry form, you can go to like the Mary Morales announcement video. You can go to the Facebook group. You can go to the Discord. They're all over the place. You can find it, a link for it. Just make sure you fill out your entry forms. I mean, granted, you've got time as long as they're in before I need to give you a prize, because that's important. Can't give you a prize if you don't have your names in there. But make sure you do your entry forms if you are going to. If Capricia is still here, I was going to ask you, where are you from? All right, let's see here. She was like, you had me out of here on Pimple Popper. I don't blame you. Run away. Oh, I'm so freaking excited. So yeah, when Luntian gets here, I want to take a look, see what I want to add for some really, really beautiful specials, because I've got some good ones, but I think I want some other ones. She's around. I don't have a lot of round specials. So I want to grab something special just for that one. No pun intended. I did mine. I hope I didn't make any mistakes on it. I'm sure you didn't. I'm sure it's okay. And I don't require people to tell me what they're working on in the entry form, because, you could change your mind, or you could finish the one you're working on before we even get there. There's a whole lot of things. The color J, that's what I'm looking for. So I didn't want to lock anyone down into anything. And there's people who might end up doing multiples. So, And also, if you're going to be on either Discord or Facebook to post your pictures, just make sure that you start posting wherever you're going to stay posting. So, like if you're going to post on Discord, then you got to stay on Discord. If you're going to post on Facebook, you got to stay on Facebook. Still here. Oh, good. And from New York. I'm doing a Tweety diamond art. Oh, nice. Whereabouts in New York are you from, Capricia? We got a couple people from New York. Josh is from New York, and then Noelle, Diamonds in Recovery, she's also from New York. Yes, thank you, Abby. Remember to hit the like button, support the channel. You can give it a little tap-a-rooney. I've got my little boop that like button. Do it. I'll leave it right there. People can see it. Do we need to do another entry form if we start or do? No. If you decide to start a second Morales, you will not need to do another entry form because you don't have to put the name of it on the first one. I'm excited to start a new canvas in general, but that it's going to be a beautiful Morales makes me even more hyped. Ooh, yes. You know what? You should always be hyped about working on a Morales anyway, in my opinion, but you know, I completely understand. I understand the excitement because I've done five Moraleses at this point. I think that's what we figured out. Wait, okay. I've done Ajasai, Chroma, Mizuchira, Down the Rabbit Hole, and Sleeps with Butterflies. Yeah. Oh, I gotta add, because I wrote down all the ones that they have. I've got to write down Luntian. There we go. And she is a round. Okay, Abby, remind me of the numbers. You said it was how many squares and how many rounds, including the mystery and night melody from the mystery box. Abby has numbers. I was kind of wondering if they were gonna maybe try and catch the rounds up to how many squares they have, but I don't know if it matters to them that much. But yeah, because I don't have you register what the diamond paintings are that you're working on anyways, no, you don't have to do another entry form. The entry form is more or less just so I have your address for prizes, so that if I have to give your address to a sponsor or if I have to give your address to the post office because I'm mailing something, and then that way I also have a YouTube name to connect to you. This is my first Morales. Got a couple of rows. Which one are you doing, Linda? 12 squares, 9 rounds. Rounds are catching up. Yes, they are. Very quickly, too. It seems like the last several they've released have been rounds, for crying out loud. I don't mind. I'm fine with whatever, so long as it's a Morales. And it seems to me like they're doing a very good job, at least of making sure that the one that's, you know, put into rounds is appropriately in rounds. Like it's not just, it doesn't look like poops. They do a good job with the renders. And Luntian is, just gorgeous. Lumina. Oh, you know what, Linda? Let me tell you, I don't know if you do anything with regard to special drills. Oh gosh, let me show you these. I gotta show you these. They're so gorgeous. Okay, so did a I did a DP with sparklers order recently, and actually it arrived really quickly. I don't know if you do anything with specials, but this one at DP with sparklers, it's called Jacaranda, however you pronounce it. But look at this drill. It's purplish pink, but it goes like yellow too. This would look amazing on Lumina. There's also What other one did we talk about, Abby, that would look really good on Lumina? Is it not Starlight? Nope. Briar Rose is another one that would probably look good on Lumina. It's pink and yellow. Oh, it's so beautiful. And then, let's see, there's also these Marina bubbles, bubbles for squares, but you can get them in just bubbles. They're called Marina. Oh my gosh, they're so pretty. They're so gorgeous. Yeah, and they're called Marina. And then there's these Mirage bubbles. I think these also would look good on Lumina. Trying to get them to show their faces, not their butts. I think those would also look good on Lumina. I just love the colors. Ugh. But yeah, so I got Mirage, I got Marina bubbles, I got the Jacaranda, Briar Rose, I showed you those. I got Starlight. Starlight is beautiful too. Oh, and then I got some Peach Blossom. These actually might be something for Lumina too, honestly. Called Peach Blossom. Oh, they're so good. These ones are called Inchworm. And I think I'm going to get these in rounds for Luntian. They're beautiful, beautiful. These ones are called Torch. I got some of these. I think I'm going to use these on Onahime. Yeah, the Luna. Ooh, the Luna. Yeah, you're right. The Luna bubbles. Look at these Luna bubbles. Those are also beautiful. Ugh. And then parrotfish. These parrotfish, they're blue, but they give pink and yellow. Those are beautiful. And then blue shadow. I got blue shadow. Yeah, blue shadow. And then these ones are called platinum. And they're yellow, but they also give off like pink. It's hard to see, but they have a pink flash. But they look just kind of like yellow. Yeah, we got some specials and ooh, they're pretty. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier, Peggy, about how Yellow Dog Designs closed. Thank you, Linda. But they did mention that if you are trying to get their trays, that Ditsy's Diamond Den bought the files from them, so you can still get their trays technically, but it would be from Ditsy's Diamond Den. So yeah, it's a bummer. It's another shop leaving Canada, which I don't, that's no good, you know. You must collect them all and then put them in the water. Shut up. That blue shadow is so deep and intense. Yes, I agree. Put the bubbles in water. I'm sure they look great. They look the same, by the way. When you put them in actual water, they look the same. Still gonna beg Carrie to make me one. Oh, well, but you're in Canada. See, now what I'm wondering is how come they couldn't just do Canada only? Uh-oh, shut up, Sujin. Uh-oh, what'd Sujin do? Thank you for all you do this for this community. You are loved and treasured always. Thank you, Noel. You know what you do all the time. Yeah, what did Sujin do? Poor Sujin. Always taking it from somebody. A bulk of their business was US. Oh, that sucks. Well, I hope that they can maybe, keep at least a little bit open for Canada. That's a bummer. I was wondering why I wasn't hearing from them. Um, because I had asked them about sponsoring for Mary Morales because they had just sponsored for Gods and Goddesses, not realizing that, they were closing up. I hadn't heard from them, so I assumed after hearing the news that that was maybe why. Makes good sense. It is a bummer. In fact, one of my very first trays ever, like beyond what you get from the old Diamond Art Club kits, was a Yellow Dog Designs tray. Oh, it's all Sujin's fault? Oh no. Yeah, technically I think it was Peggy who brought it up this time. All right, Sujin, you're gonna take the rap anyways, because reasons, I guess. Poor Sujin. Poor Sujin. She's always got to take it from somebody. Like, what can you do? Um, but yeah, I was like, oh, well, I guess that's why I didn't get a response. Makes good sense. Yeah, I hope that they can maybe, have a little bit of a, but if I guess if they sold the files to Ditzy, can they still would they still technically be able to make their own? I know they still have the files, but I mean, the tray covers were great, quality like crazy good. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Um, but yeah, I don't know if by selling the files, if that means that they sold the quote rights to their creations, but too bad if they can't, keep the place open a little bit for Canadian people. Because I know you guys are already paying duties and everything else on your end, but I know when you've got mail strikes and then tariffs and everything else to try and deal with on top of it, it sucks. And can I be honest with you? I think that most Americans would agree that uh, for baseball fans, they would have taken a loss from Canada and not been too upset about it. It depend on their sale contract. Yeah, I guess that's true. But if they were like agreed to only sell in Canada, maybe I don't know. It's just a bummer. I've always really enjoyed any experience that I've had with Carrie and Doug, right? Doug and Carrie. It's Carrie I usually talk to, but it's a bummer to see any business go down. Bummer, bummer. Okay, almost getting close to done with this square, and then I can move on to the next one. Do you know? Oh my goodness. You know how lovely this is to work on? What a treat. This has been a treat to work on. I've been honestly just itching to get my hands on this canvas for the last several days. And I'm like, no, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait and I'm going to make it like essentially a treat for myself. And I'm glad that I did. Very glad that I did. Okay. Now, did I miss Capricia saying where in New York she's from? I missed it. Did it? I didn't. Okay. I think I did. Still looking. No. Well, if you missed it, I was asking where in New York that you're from, because we've got a couple of other New York peoples. Because Josh is from New York and Noelle is from New York. We've got a lot of Canadian peoples. I'm not far from Canada in Wisconsin. Oh, yeah. What else is everybody up to this fine Tuesday evening? I did some like general housekeeping in my house today. Vacuumed and did dishes, even though I hate both of those chores. Beans ate a leaf off of the, well, he didn't eat all of it, but he tore up a leaf on the Monstera that came in from our 3-season porch and is now, I don't know, 4.5 feet tall. And it's like, how wide? Maybe 3-4 feet wide. It's huge. It's called a Monstera, and for good reason. But I am a little bit upset because he ate one of my favorite leaves. It was a good looking leaf. And they don't grow leaves back. They just have to grow new ones. Did you notice though, Dustin, that the roots of that thing are starting to like crawl around on the floor toward the other pot?
Yeah, no.
Well, yeah, I just thought you might want to know that it's trying to get into the other pots. It's going to try and go lay babies or whatever they do. They what? They use them for climbing and then growing into other pots. Gonna go be a cuckoo monstera, and it's gonna take over another plant's pot. That's what it's gonna do. Looking for a tree to climb up. Oh, Mama's Family. Oh my gosh, I have not seen Mama's Family in forever. Ooh, Ducky's lurking. Mama's Family. Gosh, yeah, I have not seen Mama's Family in a minute. I was watching this like I don't know, 20 things you didn't know about the Golden Girls or 20 things you didn't know about whatever old shows. And Mama's Family was one of them. Love Mama's Family. I watched a lot of like Nick at Night when I was younger. And so I watched more of the older shows. I Love Lucy, Bewitched, I Dream of Jeannie, Green Acres, Beverly Hillbillies. I watched a lot of that growing up, mostly because I was a night owl, anyways. So I'd watch, Snick, and then I would watch Nick at Night. Well before George Lopez ever came on. Hey, Dustin, how do I get rid of morning glories out of my yard? Burn them? Honestly, burn the whole fucking ground. Yeah, they're self-propagating. I don't know if you caught that, but what he said is this, they're self-propagating. So if you pull the flowers off when you see them grow, they won't seed again. But yeah, they're otherwise a pain in the ass to get rid of. We've had them take over lots of things in our old yard and in this yard, and then we finally just I think the trumpet vine finally killed them. Yeah, the trumpet vine took care of a lot of different things though. Doing a hair mask. Ooh. What did that say? Listen, uh-oh. I was starting to read your message, Shannon, and then you took it away. I hope it was dirty. They're horrible. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, you basically just got to go out and start pulling flowers off of them because they'll seed. inside of their little, flower that opens. Yeah, he said the roots aren't too deep, so you can just kind of pull them out. Uh, so they're not super deep, but because they like literally twist into everything, they're still sort of there. Melissa said, I think Dustin is evolving. He didn't say anything dirty about a morning glory. He's growing. He's growing as a person. It's a different kind of morning glory, I guess. You don't pull those out by the root. I heard that's not the way to handle that kind of a morning glory, anyways. He says, nope. Hi, Jamie. Just so happy to be diamond painting right now. Yeah, Shannon. She had an I Love Lucy lunchbox. Ooh, jealous. So jealous. What color is that? The letter R. Some of these are a little hard to see without the light right on it. I used to watch it around the time of Sanford and Son and Brady Bunch with my oh yeah, heck yeah. Oh my gosh, Sanford and Son and Brady Bunch. Yes. Yes, yes. And then what was the one? It had Danny Thomas and he was the dad. And oh man. Danny Thomas was the father. And I remember the house really, really well. Do you remember the Patty Duke show? Cousins, identical cousins all the way. They walk alike, they talk alike, sometimes they even. Yeah. I used to watch the Patty Duke show. And then I remembered I think it was the same actress that played on Patty Duke. Was that the person who was in the original Parent Trap? I don't know. That was like classic era Disney, way classic era Disney. You could almost also call it racist era Disney, but there is that. But I liked for like super old classic Disney, I liked Swiss Family Robinson because I loved the fact that like they had an ostrich race. Make room for daddy. Yes. Thank you, Paula. Make room for daddy. So there's a song in that show that I can still sing like to this day that Danny Thomas sang for his daughter in the show. And I used to sing it to my younger sibling to help her get to sleep. Because I loved Room for Daddy. All right, we got our square done on that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh. Love the colors. Sujin said, what? It's not dirty, I promise. Make room for daddy. It was very wholesome. Very wholesome show. I swear. All right, let's see. Let's get the ABs out of the way first. Yeah, we'll get the ABs out of the way first and see if I need a putty change here. What kind of name is that? Well, the same kind of bad name as All in the Family. The colors are gorgeous on your canvas. Thank you. Yeah, I love them. Yes, Togo loves them too, my parrot. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, 96 colors. And like I said, I was really surprised that Because I expected like, oh my gosh, it's 96 colors, it's going to be unbearable. Not even, because you don't use all 96 colors on each square. Like it's spread out pretty nicely, which I am grateful for sure. What kind of name is that? I don't even know. The yellow? Yeah, and there's yellow ABs in there too. So in person, oh my gosh, it's good. That's all I can tell you is it's good. If you have this canvas, sometimes by Color Out of Place, like highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. It has been a pick me up of color that I needed really badly. Just varieties of color, and I'll show you guys my finish here in just a minute. I'll pull it out and show it to you. She turned out really beautiful. My Bella Art Diamonds piece. And I'll do a post review and tell you more about her. But gosh, what other shows? I was I was pretty well do you guys remember there was Golden Girls, and then there was the doctor who lived like down the street or whatever, and he had a red, was it a Bernese Mountain Dog? And it was called Empty Nest. It was called Empty Nest. And he was a dad. And then his two daughters moved back in with him. He's a doctor. Do you guys remember that show? Get Smart, the monkeys. Yes, the monkeys. Oh my gosh. And Get Smart with the freaking shoe phone. But yeah, it was like, what was his name? Doctor something. And on Golden Girls, they would always do like crossover episodes. And then there was one, I think it was called Nurses of Miami or something like that. Blast from the Past, Three's Company, Golden Girls, we watched a lot, and Lassie. Yeah, Lassie was another one. You do very vaguely. Okay. No, I feel so youthful. Yes, Sujin, you should. Yeah, Empty Nest. Okay, I was right. Um, but they would always do crossover episodes. And like because he was a doctor and he was single and he lived down the street from the Golden Girls, there was always like, like Blanche was trying to date him at one point. I think even, you know, either probably Dorothy, because by that point I'm pretty sure that Rose was married to Miles on Golden Girls. So maybe it was either, was Dorothy remarried to Stan yet at that point? So maybe it was just Blanche trying to date him. What was the doctor's name? Dr. Hudson? No. No. Dang. I'd have to look it up. Who remembers MASH? I do. Little House on the Prairie. Yeah, Michael Landon. Michael Landon. My mom had like just the biggest crush on Michael Landon. Stairway to Heaven. Little Stairway to Heaven action. Wasn't Little House on the Prairie based on somewhere in Wisconsin? I thought it was. Or maybe I made that up. I totally made that up, probably. MASH is my all-time favorite show. So I went into surgery as my career. Badass. Oh my god, we need to do that again where I hum the the intro to a show and you guys have to try and figure out what the show is. Cuz we all know I'm so good at humming random crap, making up stupid songs. The Waltons, oh my gosh, yeah. Night John Boy. Little House in Walton's. Yeah. Partridge Family, Bonanza. Oh my God. The Partridge Family. I wanted to be them so bad. I wanted to ride around on a tour bus and sing songs with my funky family. Yeah. One moment. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know if somebody just walked past the house or what happened. That was my doggos. Don't know who started it, so I don't know who to blame. Blame all of them. I've heard of most of these shows, never watched them. 90 kids, so most of that my time. Yeah, probably. One moment. Come here. Yeah. Oh, you're so scary. I know you're so scary. I'll put you on a leash and bring you over here by me, and then you'll be grounded, sir. You'll be grounded, sir. Yeah, I know all you young babies. All you young babies. Now, to be fair, many of these, how dare you, mute beans? He was telling us all how his day was. Wow, we got a lot of 94 gang. So, yeah, to be fair, a lot of these shows I'm too young for, to be honest with you, but I watched a lot of like Nick at Night or reruns of things. It it only really blew my mind when like things like George Lopez started showing up on Nick at Night because it's like, hold on a second. What happened? Like where did I get old all of a sudden? Or you start to see things like, because I was born in 1980, right? And then you start to see things from the 90s when some of you guys were born listed as like classic rock. And I'm like, what? Oh, nobody said Leave It to Beaver. Oh, yep, Little Rascals. I don't know how those got missed. So yeah, it's like to hear some of the stuff that I listened to when I was in middle and high school listed as like classic rock, and I'm going, "Oh my god, what happened? Like where did I get old? When did it happen exactly?" That's because nobody cares about Leave It to Beaver. Ooh, ouch. Although you have to admit, some of the names for these shows were definitely a product of their time, like Leave It to Beaver. You would probably never hear of a show called Leave It to Beaver now, or Make Room for Daddy, or All in the Family. Andy Griffith. Yeah, Sandy Griffith. I love the George Lopez show. I did too. God, I don't remember why, but I had to watch an episode of Leave It to Beaver. You had to? If it's good enough for Eminem to quote in 8 Mile, it's good enough for you, Sujin. Happy Days, yes. Or the spinoff from Happy Days, Joni Loves Chachi. I Dream of Jeannie. Yes, good one. You're also a 1980 year birth. Yeah. Laverne and Shirley was good. 38 years, 87 baby. Yeah, a lot of reruns. Grew up on Rugrats and all. Yeah, yep. Beachcombers. Beachcombers? What's that? I don't know if I'm familiar with unless you're talking about the diamond painting, Beachcomber's Bounty, but I don't think so. We're talking about TV. But yeah, I don't know. It's crazy to me. Although I do find it fun and interesting that like younger kids of like the current generation are starting to discover things like Rugrats or like 90s Hey Arnold or Two Angry Beavers or whatever, and they're starting to rediscover those and bring them back around for their own viewing. I find that fun. I do. I can't wait till my kids start to feel old when their shows start getting reimagined. I think one of my favorite like 90s sitcoms was probably Family Matters. It I don't know, it always felt very relatable. Things were happening in that neighborhood that happened in my neighborhood. Finals are coming back. Yeah, Fantasy Island, Gilligan's Island, Love Boat, old and new Love Boat. Ooh, yeah. Might be Canadian only. Wait, what? Oh, Beachcombers? Yeah, maybe. I don't think I've heard of that one. Mork and Mindy. Oh my gosh. Nanu Nanu. Um uh uh Perfect Strangers. Who is playing the MASH theme song right now on TV? American Dad is on and they're playing the MASH theme song in American Dad and I was like, what is actually happening right now? Growing Pains. I was like, ooh, I thought maybe Dustin was doing it as a joke, but it showed up in American Dad just randomly. That was weird. All right, have fun with Senior. Senior Beans needs to go on a car ride, I guess. He's antsy pants, barking at everything. Yeah, I liked Family Matters for like 90s. Obviously, Roseanne. Roseanne was very relatable to everything that was going on in my life. Roseanne kind of sort of felt like my own family. Hello, Sarah. My clients I care for. One of them loves the show Smokey and the Bandit. Oh, there you go. Gilligan's Island, Family Matters, Goosebumps. Are You Afraid of the Dark? Gotta go a little Are You Afraid of the Dark? The Urkel dance. Yes. And then, of course, like Fresh Prince. Fresh Prince was another one that I watched a lot of. I don't know who wasn't watching Fresh Prince. I think everybody was kind of watching Fresh Prince by that time. Um, one. I gotta grab one drill because I missed one. Oop. There's a couple where I only need one drill though, so let's go ahead and do it. All right, let's see. I only need 3 of this color because that's how many is on the canvas right here. Sarah, we're talking about classic TV shows. Everything from really old to now, okay, for people who watched Golden Girls, did you also watch Maude? Mary Tyler Moore, by the way, and Rhonda. I loved Rhonda more than I loved Mary Tyler Moore because I found Rhonda to be much more relatable to who I am as a human. But if you watched The Golden Girls, did you watch Maude before that came out? Dinosaurs. Oh my God, yes, the series finale messed you up. Yep, me too. Dukes of Hazzard, Facts of Life. Remember the early days of MTV where there was that library game? Yeah, Silent Library. That's actually on Paramount Plus. You can watch Silent Library, Married with Children, which would so not float now at all. Not yeah, Rhoda, not Rhonda. Duh. If I said yeah, if I said Rhonda, I meant Rhoda. I knew that. I don't know why I said Rhonda. Um, yes, Larry and Balky Bartakamus from Perfect Strangers, and they turned him into Vanilla Ice. Yes, yes, yes. Well, to be fair, Autumn, I remember the days of MTV where they actually played music videos like all the time. Didn't watch Mod. Your husband loves Golden Girls. It's because it's awesome. You watched Empty Nest. I watched Empty. We were talking about Empty Nest earlier. Uh, but yeah, I did love Rhoda. Um, and then oh, what's the one? Oh shoot, oh shoot, what's the freaking name? He Newhart, 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 and Newhart show because or Bob was it Bob Newhart and just Newhart? There was two different like Bob Newhart shows. Loved Bob Newhart. This is my brother Daryl, my other brother Daryl. Good lord. Sujin and the other 94 crew here are like, what are you guys actually talking about? Not old, but pushing daisies was a favorite. Um trying to think. I don't think I've ever seen Pushing Daisies. MTV game show, remote control scared me when I was little. Yeah. Facts of Life, Step by Step was also really almost sang a New Kids on the Block song. We don't want to do that. I remember waking up in the morning before school and listening to the music videos. And Cartoon Network had Toonami, Adult Swim, with anime like Naruto and Robot Chicken. Yeah, the Jeffersons. Newhart was Professor Proton on Big Bang Theory. Nice. I didn't know that. Oh, you know what we're thinking. I don't need to say it out loud. Yeah. You're like, elderly people. So this is what they talk about. It's all right. I'm not mad. At one point, I started telling my kids that, like, I'd be in the middle of doing something like watching a show or whatever on Hulu or what have you, and they'd bother me to ask me a question of some kind. And like, stop it, you're interrupting my programs. And my oldest was like, Mom, stop, don't say that. I'm old. I am old. Leave me alone. Let me watch my I remember my mom used to love soaps and she would call them my stories. Don't bother me. I'm watching my stories. Well, but back then, unless you had a person like my dad who figured out how to, like in the early days, record TV with the VCR, because not a lot of people knew how to do that yet. Um, you couldn't rewatch stuff. Like if you missed the finale of Dallas, you missed the finale of Dallas. Like that was just it. You didn't tape it. Lee Pace was a pie maker that could touch recently dead things and bring them back to life. If he touches them, they died again, or wait too long and someone else had to die. Oh, interesting. Some kids say, I'm a boomer now. What? Oh, Lord. I don't know what that makes me then. My mom had me watch a few episodes of Married with Children once. I thought it was funny, but not something I wanted to binge. Sanford and Sons. Please don't eat the daisies. I used to watch Reba when I was pregnant. Oh, Reba's cute. We talk about the good old days where we walked 10 miles to school in a snowstorm and Coke cost a quarter. I think she means Coca Cola, not like actual sniffy Coke. I love finding people my own age. You youngsters don't get it. Get off my lawn. Yes, my stories on. Yeah, she'd be like, my stories. Sujin, like, what's a VHS? Oh my God, Passions. AS94 babies still watched VHS. The Goosebump movies. Yes. Yeah, uphill both ways in the snow. Um, while okay, so there was one woman that I used to take care of at my job, and she was 96 when she passed away, but she told me about how she used to ride a horse to school, like an actual horse. I was like, "Where do you park your horse when you go to school?" She's like, "Usually it would just go home." I'm like, "Well, then how did you get home?" "Well, I walked." Like, if it was far enough for you to take a horse to school, why, man, walking home probably sucked. So like it was only bad in the winter time. Otherwise, she said she'd tie him to a tree or a post or whatever. I was like, man, that's rough. Why did I have to ride a horse to school? Hard pass on that. Yes, my own orange Goosebumps VCR tape. Snick. Snick was orange too. All of the Snick tapes were orange. Old man shakes fist at cloud. The Rugrats colored tapes, some green or orange color. Yeah. My family had a VHS and DVD combo player at one point. I still do. So, Sujin, how old are you? She's in the 94 gang. Yeah, y'all are the 94 gang. You wee little babies. You youngin' children's. Well, back when I was your age, we had to rewind our tapes before we could rewatch a movie. We had to rewind our cassette tapes before we could listen to a song a second time. And it was sometimes just easier to let the cassette tape play all the way through so you could just flip it over and listen to the whole other side. Yes. Also, one of my favorite things to do was to record the radio so that I could listen to the songs I wanted to listen to. Because, like about every hour, you would have the radio repeat a song that you had listened to. So I would record the radio, but I was really cool because before I would like put the song on from the radio onto, I would play like DJ on my own like cassette tape. Sujin, I'm 95. Why do I know these shows? People were a different breed of human in the olden days before internet and tech. Very true. Yeah, good. I'm glad I know I'm not alone. Capricia, I'm glad I'm not alone in that. I still remember winding cassette tapes with my finger, or you could get a pencil in there because it was exactly the right size, and then you could rewind it. Uh-oh, she ain't in a 94 gang. Oh no. Making that mixtape tape for the car baby. Yes, making that mixtape for your boyfriend or your wannabe boyfriend. I made you this content tape. It's got all my favorite songs. I hope you like it. I made it for you. Okay, but for real, Dustin's not here right now to back me up on this. He made me a mixed CD. It might as well have been a mixtape. It was very cute. It was very, very cute. Became a master of unpausing and pausing the tape just right. Yeah, hell yeah. No pencil and whirl it. Yeah. You can put the pencil on it and just like flip the cassette around the pencil. My grandma had a lot of cassettes with old Korean songs. Oh, that sounds amazing. That sounds like awesome. I'd be so into that now, just for funsies. Yeah. One thing I definitely do not miss is dial-up internet sounds because you had to sit and listen to them before you could actually get on the internet. I don't miss the sound of that. But it definitely, like, even now when we're like looking on a web store or whatever, and it's taking a little extra time, do I like think back to the fact that before I could even access that web page, I'd need to wait 15 minutes for the freaking internet to load in, like to actually go through all of its like paces before you could get onto the internet. So it's like I gotta remember that 30 seconds to load a page is like not that big a deal. If you remember dial up, you old, yeah, I do. I do. I do remember recording 30 seconds of song from the radio to my flip phone for music. I did that too before MP3s came out and before like LimeWire and torrenting. Yes, Chris Hansen. I remember so much bootlegging VHS tapes. It was the only way for my family to get Korean media. I bet the dial up internet sound was just as bad as when a fax machine tries to call a phone line and then no one could call when you were online. Yeah, no, they couldn't. They could not. They could not at all. No, not dial up scary memories. Oh my gosh. Yep. Yeah, heaven forbid. And the other thing was like you couldn't go anywhere if you wanted to talk on the phone. I was always okay. I didn't have a cord that was like 80 feet long in my house so that I could take the phone up to my bedroom because I didn't have a phone line in my bedroom. I had to stand out in the kitchen where the phone line was, right? I couldn't take the phone to my room. I remember my friend, she had like literally an 80-foot long coax or whatever for the phone, and she could take the phone into her room. Also, they really badly need to bring back clear things like phones that like the phone that you hang up where it was clear and you could see all the insides or like alarm clocks or computers or whatever. Like they need to bring that back. I want to see what's happening inside of the things that I'm using. Also, children nowadays will never understand the satisfaction of hanging up on someone and like slamming that phone down so hard that it like made a ring sound when you'd slam it. And even like a flip phone, at least you could like physically hang up on somebody. They will never understand what it was like to literally take that phone and like slam that sucker down when you were mad at somebody in the fourth or fifth grade. I remember when YouTube was cool and let us get away with ripping music from videos. Yeah, that was a thing. Floppy disk. Floppy disks, which were hard, and hard disks, which were floppy. Make that make sense. Cordless phones were huge. Yes. Prison electronics is clear. Oh, yeah, I guess it is. I had one of those and it rang so loudly. Party phone lines, yes. Like, hold on, let me call in whoever. Hanging up the physical phone was 11 out of 10. Yes. When I was young, my mom would get mad at all of us and take the phone receiver off the phone console and put it in her purse. Never dared to go into mom's purse. Yeah, I actually had a phone that had the thing with the dial, like the actual dial where if you had to put a zero in a bunch of times, it was like literally you had to go the whole way route. Oh my God. Or children will also never understand either A, being in charge of making sure that the TV didn't have static, so you became the antenna for your parents when they were watching. Like my dad would watch football, and if he was watching a game and it was like cutting in and out, I would have to go over and I would have to stand there and hold the antenna some sort of way, and then like having two dials on the TV. So like you had the one dial that would go up to, I don't know, 9 or 10, and then you have like the fine tuner dial where it would like to get it around. Do you remember that? Oh my lord. Want to hear something crazy? When kids do the make a call hand symbol, it's a flat palm. Oh my god, that is weird. Instead of what we did with the pinky and thumb. Oh no. We had a rotary phone in the basement. No, you'd have three different houses on the same line. And at times, oh, yeah, you would pick it up to use it and somebody else was having a conversation. Yes. Oh my gosh. But yeah. Or the one, yeah, the one with the buttons. The one with the buttons where it was like clunk, clunk, clunk on the TV. Oh my lord. Yep. But man, the dials. I'm sure that nowadays, if you handed a child like some of the technology that we used, they would not even know what the hell it was or what it was used for. Just getting up every time to change the channel for your parents. Yes, you were the remote control. Yep. And the rabbit ears. Absolutely. We lived in the country and we had an antenna TV. Only PBS would come through out there or the local news. So guess what? We watched VHS or played in the on the Atari or go outside. Yeah. I wasn't allowed in my house until the street lights were on. I had to be outside. I was not allowed inside. Maybe I just dated myself. Yeah, TVs when they had tubes. Yeah, the real tubes. And if you dropped a television with a tube in it, that sucker exploded. Like literally exploded. Yep. I'm fairly certain little kids would not know what to do with the technology that we had to use. But there was also a time when computers were people. Literally. The computers that they used to get us to space were actually people computing maths. Pretty crazy. The little things that we carry in our pockets. The thing that I am streaming this on right now is smarter than the computers like the IBM that got us to space, which is crazy. Yeah, and the TVs weighed about 4 million pounds. My dad called it the boob tube. Yep. The kids would be like, whoa, what's this strange contraption? Yeah, basically. Absolutely. The craziness of it all. I remember thinking it was big technology when I would go to my cousin's house. And my cousins, I had two girl cousins, and they always had like all the best Barbies. They had like Barbie houses, they had like Barbie mansion, Barbie car, whatever. And I was like, you know, fascinated by the fact that their Barbie houses had like lights in them. I never had a bar, even with batteries, I never had a Barbie house with lights in it. But then I remember when they came out with like rollerblade Barbie, but she had like the rollerblades that when you would move her along, they would spark. Not that I think a child should ever have both a Barbie with a sparking rollerblade and gas, but if somehow a child got a hold of both things, they could like literally just light the whole house on fire because you'd like it would spark. It would literally spark. Rotary phones, what you tried to explain. Yeah, with the spinning, yeah, rotary phones. A manual typewriter, I had one of those. My grandparents had an old TV in a giant wooden frame. I didn't want to know how many people it took to move that TV when they finally got, yeah, right. You know, I went to an art museum with a tech section, and those things were in there, like making even me feel old. Now I'm like, wait, a PS2 is retro. It is. Yep. Yep. And going back and playing things on the Nintendo 64 is like, how did we deal with these graphics? Like, how did we think this was really cutting edge stuff? But we did. I mean, even like when do you remember when the first Toy Story movie came out or Shrek? when Shrek came out and Toy Story for that matter, but we would look at those movies like, wow, these graphics are insane. And then, now you go back and watch it, like the freaking Bratz movie, and it's scary to watch. It's like, oh, why do they look like that? That's not right. We had candy shaped as cigarettes. Why wouldn't we have a Barbie that made sparks? Right. Oh my God, core memory unlocked. 80s skater Barbie with spark skates. You're welcome. Anything that doesn't require an internet connection is suddenly retro now. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Also, I air quotes smoked candy cigarettes all the time. Do you remember when cigarettes would offer like points? You okay, so like on the side of a Marlboro box, you got Marlboro Miles or Camel. I forget what Camel called theirs, but you'd like tear off part of the box and you'd save that, and then you'd cash it in for things. And I remember my cousin was like a 2 pack a day smoker for real, a 2 pack a day smoker, saved up enough of these Marlboro Miles to buy himself a bicycle, like an off-road bicycle. But by the time that he saved up enough miles for this off-road bicycle, he had smoked so many cigarettes that he couldn't even ride the thing without running out of breath. What even are we? What are we? Tamagotchi. I still have Tamagotchi. I do. Hold on. Hold 1 second. I've got I've got I've got 2 Tamagotchis right here. There you go. I've still got one in a box too. Whoops, there's Tamagotchi. I'll get them in a minute. I remember those points. My parents always okay, so I remember my mom was a Camel smoker. And so we haven't caught up to the Jetsons. No, we have not. Um oh, Bucks, Camel Bucks, which is kind of funny. The live action Bratz movie was a thing in my time, and now watching it again is so cringe. Well, so my mom used to collect the Camel Bucks, and I remember she got this frickin' it was basically a jacket, but it was made of paper, like recycled material, plasticky paper stuff. And I used to wear that around and think I was so freaking cool. I would walk into a patient's home and on the wall was the rotary phone, and my young cohorts would look at the phone and be like, "What in the hell is this?" Remember when cigarettes were offered in like a vending machine? Yes, and the vending machines, like you would put in your money, and then it would have like a pull thing, and it would chunk out cigarettes. Yes, my parents were Newport and Marlboro. Yep, yep. I still have a Furby. I have several Furbies actually. I have a new one out now. Autumn, my kid also owns the new Tamagotchi that's more advanced. Remember the Tamagotchi connection? We used to bring them to school to connect ours and make babies. Ooh, I guess that's what you should be doing in middle school, connecting and making babies with technology. That's only really weird. Yeah. What the hell? Thought I was so cool in my camel buck jacket. It was like a windbreaker, but it was made of like plastic paper. Thought I was so cool. I was Joe cool. I feel so old right now. My local bar has one. Granted, it's not in use. Okay, I do really miss the days of having like an old school jukebox where now you walk up to the wall and it's all like touch screen and whatever, but there's something to be said for watching either the records or even the CDs to spin around in the spindle, and it would drop it down into the player and play the song that you wanted. Now it's all digital and boring. It's sort of like um taking the fun out of like a quarter machine, like a bubblegum machine where you'd watch it, like spin down the thing. Like, how boring. Been years since Club Penguin. What happened to that? My kids played the shit out of some Club Penguin, though, I'll tell you that. Pretty sure they met creepers on there too. Naomi, it was like third grade. Oh, no, not third grade baby making. Yeah, pretty sure my kids. Okay, but I was really like when Club Penguin was a thing, I was playing it was like Pixie Hollow, which is all based on Tinkerbell. I miss that game. I wish that was still around. I have like a DS version of Pixie Hollow, but it's not the same. Because you could actually like chat with people on there too. There we go. Chuck E. Cheese has a tap card. Abby, yeah. Abby, when you mentioned that Chuck E. Cheese no longer takes tokens, I was like, I no longer have any interest in going to a Chuck E. Cheese. Yes, and it was free to play songs. My local Waffle House has a jukebox still. Nice. Nice. Am I surprised that weirdos would have taken over something like Club Penguin and taken it as their own? No. Zero surprised. Zero surprise. I remember my kids, I used to get them Webkins. Well, my oldest was very into Webkins. My younger would still accept the Webkins, wasn't doing too much with the web portion of it at the time. And like I think about all of this stuff, and like we literally have no one to blame for these children being addicted to friggin' screens but ourselves. Because it was so novel, when we were coming up, and then we thought, let's not deny the children the technology. They're gonna need to know how to use it. Whoops. Oversized rat, Chuck E. Cheese. Yep, Webkins were very big in my house. Very, very big. Yeah, don't deny the children the technology. They're going to need to know how to use it someday. Oh, they know how to use it. That's all right. Someday they'll have the computer just linked directly to their brain so they don't even have to worry about, an external thing. This conversation is just what I needed tonight. Thanks, everyone. Hopefully that's not being sarcastic and you're actually happy about it and I didn't just make you feel ancient. I apologize to anybody who might be feeling really old right now. That's okay. We can all be old together. We can be old as a group. Oh man. All right, what time are we at? Am I getting close? 9:18. Hate that the previous generation will be like, these damn kids when they caused the issue in the first place. Yeah, so did we. But I feel like there was some like want by especially my generation. We were angry in my generation mostly because we felt very ignored. We felt like, the the man wasn't listening to us, whatever. But it also, I'm going to be honest with you, my generation, which would be like I am the end of generation X and the beginning of millennials, so I'm like an Xennial, but I think I feel more like a Gen X myself. But I think that we definitely brought about the age of the angry white dude. Yeah, that definitely came out of Gen X for sure, for sure. But we came from parents that like I remember my brother locked himself out of the house with no shoes on in the winter time and got yelled at for it. Uh, we came from a time where your parents yelled at you for locking yourself out of the house with your shoes off in the snow because you were an inconvenience to them while they were at work. You know what I mean? I think I'm the oldest here, 1964. Gen X, raised on hose water and neglect. For real. Very, very true. Oh, interesting. I feel more like a millennial. Yeah, I think I don't know. I wasn't raised on a lot of the technology, which is funny because my dad was a computer programmer in the military. So we had a computer in the home. Like it was massive, but we had a computer in our home in 1987, I remember. And I remember like the first computer game I ever played was Leisure Suit Larry, which is not appropriate for kids. Um, but I also didn't like I did more outside than I did inside. So the being as technologically savvy wasn't necessarily something I was doing, you know? Hose water and neglect. That definitely sums it up. Yikes, I'm a boomer. What is someone born in 74? That would be Gen X, I'm pretty sure. Because I was born in 1980, and I think Gen X goes from 73 to technically like 82. But then there's millennials who start at, I think, 1980. So I'm a cusp. I'm an exennial. I don't know. You have to look it up. Somebody look up the generation titles or whatever. We had freedom without cameras. Yeah. Yeah, very that. I couldn't imagine living in my home and having someone just be able to drop in on a random conversation that I'm having in my own house. That would be weird. Even if that person was a family member, I couldn't imagine having a cell phone where someone had me on a tracking device as a kid. That just, it blows my mind. I mean, I understand why parents do that, right? It's necessary, but I couldn't imagine somebody having me on a tracking device. 65 to 80 is millennial or is Gen X. I think how your family was doing economically also affects who and what you relate to, yeah, that's true, Abby. Leisure Suit Larry is always a good time. Hell yeah. It was dirty, 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 dirty. I may have interacted with older technology than the other kids my age just because my parents couldn't afford to keep up with new technology and trends. Yeah. I have no idea what I am referred to for my age. Yeah, I think okay, what's your age, Peggy? Because I know there's like living right now. There's like boomers. There's one before the boomers, I think was the silent generation. Those are people who are like very old. I think it was the silent generation. And then I think it's the boomers and then Gen X. And then there was like a Gen Y and a Gen Z. But I don't remember where those fit exactly. And then millennial, there's Zoomers, which is Gen Z. And then I think the newest generation is Gen Alpha, 1964. So then you'd be a boomer. Pretty sure that's a boomer because that's my parents' generation. My mom was born in 62 and she was a boomer, referring to, the scads of adults who are having just a massive amount of kids. That's so much information. Yeah, baby boomer is 1946 to 1964. That should be easy to remember. All right, what time are we at? Let's see. 9:25. Got 5 minutes. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, I think that's all it honestly, I think no matter what happens, the one generation is going to look down on either the generation before them or the generation after them. I think it's just a thing. Like you get so set in the way that it was when you were younger that you think, "Oh, these kids don't know how easy they have it," because shit, my parents were saying that about my generation, and now I'm saying that about my kids' generation. Oh, they don't know how good they have it. And it's like, well, shouldn't we be happy that they have it better than we did? I mean, granted, back in 1964, you could afford to get a house on one income that we cannot do right now, but it's different. It's always different. So whether it's a good or a bad thing, I guess it all just kind of depends on how you feel or think about it. You know, seems like everything is labeled. Well, I mean, these labels have always existed. They've always given names to generations. Um, that's always been a thing. Like you can actually go back and see the names of generations basically since America started, and maybe even before. But um, as far as the micro labels, like I don't know. I don't pay enough attention. That I really don't think is necessary. But I think that as far as whether or not it's a good or a bad thing to be in any specific generation, I it's all just kind of relative. Relative to when you live, it's relative to where you live. It's not as important as knowing that you know, even though I might think that the generation after me has it really easy, I also see the ways that they struggle, the same as like, a boomer might be, get off my lawn, whatever. I can also see why it would be upsetting to see some of the things that they see. It is what it is. I think Peggy's talking about generally everyone. Yeah, it's true. It is very true. Everybody just wanted to fit in and not be labeled when we were growing up. Yeah, absolutely. And it is hard. It is really hard, especially when, if you're a person who is trying to be sensitive to others and what they would like to be referred to or what they, whatever. Like I do try to be sensitive to those things because I think it's important to try to be at least somewhat respectful. But I think that as long as everybody can be patient with each other and realize that somebody's not necessarily trying to hurt anybody's feelings by getting it wrong, then we're all fine. I think we'll all be all right. You know, I think that oftentimes all these things, all these petty things are a distraction from what really matters, and that is just that we're all one human race, right? And even if we come from different generations, ultimately we all have to share the same planet. And if we can all figure out how to do so without making another person feel um, excluded or, I mean, worse than uh, persecuted, then I think we're doing okay. And I do try very, very hard to carve out a kind space for people. Yeah, I like having a laugh and yeah, I rib people and I'll give somebody a hard time, but it's all with the intention of let's laugh at ourselves. I laugh at myself probably more than I laugh at anybody else. But I do like to have, even in live streams or whatever, I like to create a space where people can have a laugh and not feel judged or mistreated for who they are or what they believe, no matter what it is, even if it's not what I believe. You were a Neopets kid, not a Club Penguin kid. Ooh. I just hope people remember they're always more than a label. They're a person, and that's what counts and matters the most. Amen to that. Amen to that. I'm good with all labels. It's just confusing sometimes. Yes, that's true. It very much can be. And I think that the other thing to remember too is for everybody, right? If you have a label, it matters. It does matter, right? But ultimately, it doesn't matter to everybody. You just got to remember that not everybody is as invested in your label as you are. And so if you can accept that some people may or may not be as concerned about your labels as you are, then we're probably going to be fine. You know, if it's your friends or family that are not respecting your labels or your things, that's a problem. But the general public, who cares? If they're not being hateful, then who cares? You know? So it's a weird time we live in. A weird time. But you know what? I'm happy to be alive. I hope you guys are happy to be alive too. Because while it is a confusing time to be alive, it's a great time to be alive. And to be hanging out with you guys. I'm always happy to be with you guys. Y'all make me very happy to be on this planet. Anyways. Oh, your Neopets are always starving and sick? Oh no. And for what it's worth, to all of you, I'm glad you were born in whatever generation you were born in. I'm glad that you were born and I'm glad that you're here. All right. It's past time. I should probably get the heck out of here. Go let y'all live your lives and do your things. And you know where you can find me. You know where I'll be. I've had a great time tonight, and I'm glad that you guys were here to hang out with me and laugh and reminisce on some really strange things. But I'm going to get out of here. Don't forget, if you're signing up for Mary Morales, don't forget your entry form. Don't forget to put in your submissions in the place where you need to submit things. If you want more information on Mary Morales, go and watch the Mary Morales announcement video and check that out. Please join us. It'll be a good time. Otherwise, I will see you all on Saturday for another live stream at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. But otherwise, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go to the usual places. Much love to you guys. My big, big, big love. And as ever, I hope that wherever you are in this great, big, wide, wonderful world of ours, that you are having a wonderful morning, evening, or afternoon, whatever time it is, wherever you are. All right, I'll see you next time, guys.